So we left off where our character is attempting to lift the weight a second time with more of an effort. We'll continue from there. We're on the second part of drawing 5, and since it is another pose of tension, we'll go to frame 90. And here what we want to do is, since this is where the character is going to lift up the barbell, we actually have a switch on both of our RMK controls called bar lock. And what that allows us to do is constrain the hands to the bar. Okay, so if we select both RMK controls and we go to the bar lock, let's put in a value of 10, make sure we're on frame 90. And when we do that, notice if we select our barbell control and move it around, the hands are moving along with it. And if we rotate it too, the hands will follow. And we will need to do a little bit of work afterwards, but that's fine. So on frame 90, we'll now have the character start translating upward. So we can select the barbell control and the center of gravity and start bringing the character up. Translate him up and back a little bit. Remember, we want to keep him balanced. Let's have his back move a little bit more forward. And we could even translate it forward a little bit in the Z2. For his chest, we could rotate that back a little bit more for the pull. And maybe rotate his center of gravity forward a little bit. Okay, then we can bring his shoulders up some more. And bring the barbell control down some so that the arms are locked. And we'll also rotate it down, as the arms should rotate once the character has lifted the weight off the floor. Then we'll need to make sure that the hands are still on the barbell, so we can use our RMK controls, translate them forward like that to again make sure that the hands are on the barbell as they should be. Okay, and the right arm is fine, but the left arm I think could be adjusted a little bit more. Maybe bring the scapula down some more. Alright, and then make sure that the arm's locked. There we go. So that's fine for now. And we'll scrub through to check out our pose. Okay, so the barbell needs to come up a little bit more than it is right now. So again, we'll select our center of gravity control and the barbell control and just start translating the character upward and back a little bit. And we want to remember to check our animation in all views to make sure our character is centered, is balanced. I could bring him up a little bit more than that. Okay, so here's what we get when we go from frame 70 to 90 now, where the character's finally lifted the weight off the floor. For his head, let's go ahead and adjust that. We'll bring that forward and rotate it forward some. Scrub through. Okay, great. Also, another thing to adjust are the knees. We can bring those out some, because as the barbell starts coming towards the body, closer towards the body, it'll push the knees back a little. So we'll have that. All right. Okay, so here's what we're getting so far. And we can now move on to the next pose. This is where the character is now going to spring up to throw the weight onto his chest. So let's go to frame 110, and we can also adjust our range slider from here. And we'll have the character spring up now. Okay, and on his spring up, let's say he moves a little bit forward. So we'll just translate a center of gravity up and forward and then rotate it back. This time we want to have more of a C curve for our line of action in the back. So we'll make sure we get that this time. Then we could translate the back control back some. and rotate the chest back a little bit more. Then we could rotate the center of gravity forward some and definitely adjust the head. For the head, let's translate that forward and rotate it down so he's looking kind of looking at the barbell. For his shoulders, let's bring those forward slightly and down a little bit, and we'll do the same thing for the right shoulder. Okay, then we could go to his feet. We're actually going to be animating a few of the channels, these extra feet control channels, the barbell and also the raised ball and also the raised toe channel. Okay, so on frame 110, let's go ahead and start working on raising the raised ball and raised toe channel. And we can select them both and edit them at the same time. So we'll raise up the raised ball slightly, raised toe. Okay, like that. And also, we'll even get let's get the side to side channel in there too. Okay, as the foot should move slightly outward like that during this position. So we want to keep our animation as accurate as we can while adding the exaggeration, as much exaggeration as we can without going too overboard. We'll keep the knees a little bit bent there. Okay, now we can start bringing up the barbell control. So we'll select that, bring it up and forward some. About to the center of his upper body, maybe down a little bit more. And we'll definitely need to rotate it out, so we'll rotate it backwards like that so that the hands are out as they should be. Okay, let's see. We want the arms slightly bent here. And I like to rotate the hands a little bit down, just a little bit more. Then we need to make sure that the hands are on the barbell, so we'll select both RMIK controls and translate them back to make sure of that. Then we can adjust them individually. Okay, so that left arm's fine, and we can now tweak out the right a little bit more, like that. Then give the arms a little bit more of a straighter feeling, and then for the elbows themselves, let's go ahead and select our elbow controls and bring up the elbows like that. We could even translate the controls back a little bit and then up some more so they're not too close to our other controls, so we don't get distracted by them. But there's our next pose. So if we scrub through, here's what we get. Alright, we'll check our silhouette to see how that's looking. It's looking pretty good. Our line of action is more or less a C curve, but it's also got some of the a straight line for it, since the character is hopping up as he is. But that completes this lesson. In the next lesson, again, we'll continue posing out our extremes for this animation.